Have you ever wondered what life is truly like inside a nursing home? Today we're sharing 6 heartfelt regrets from those who've made the move, insights that might just change your perspective on independence, dignity, and choice. Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Elderly Life Lessons, where we explore the wisdom and experiences that come with age. Today we're diving into a topic that touches many lives: the transition to nursing home living. It's a decision often made with the best intentions, yet it can come with unexpected challenges and regrets. Let's explore these 6 reflections together, with warmth and understanding. It's a conversation we all face eventually, whether for ourselves or for a loved one. The idea of a nursing home often conjures images of safety, care, and perhaps a respite from the burdens of maintaining a home. And for some, it absolutely is all of that. But for others, there's a side to it that only becomes clear once you're living it. It's a realization that comes quietly, often subtly, but leaves a profound mark. Today, I want to explore 6 of these quiet regrets, not to discourage, but to inform, to empower you with knowledge so you can make choices that truly align with your heart and your spirit. 1. The quiet erosion of my independence. When you've lived a life of making your own choices, big and small, the shift to a structured environment can be jarring. Before, your day unfolded according to your desires. You decided when to wake up, what to eat for breakfast, when to take your morning walk, or when to simply sit with a cup of tea and watch the world go by. That was your rhythm, your unique melody of life. But in a nursing home, that rhythm often gives way to a preset schedule. Meals arrive at specific times, whether you're hungry or not. Medications are dispensed on a clock, regardless of how you feel at that moment. There are set times for activities, for personal care, even for visitors sometimes. And while these routines are designed for efficiency and care, they can, over time, subtly chip away at your sense of self-direction. You might find yourself waiting for permission to do things you once did instinctively. You might want to linger over a book in the evening, but it's bedtime. Or perhaps you feel like an impromptu stroll outside, but it's not the designated time for escorted walks. This isn't about malicious intent. It's simply the nature of communal living, where individual autonomy is often subordinated to the needs of the many and the demands of a care system. But the emotional toll can be significant. One dear friend, Sarah, who lived a vibrant life, full of spontaneous adventures, shared with me, "I stopped arguing. I adapted, but in doing so, I lost myself." Her words carry a deep weight. It's the realization that while you're being cared for, you're also slowly surrendering the small freedoms, countless little choices that make up the tapestry of your daily joy, and indeed, your very identity. It leads us to a fundamental question. Are you truly ready to surrender the small freedoms that define your daily joy? Deeply about what those small freedoms mean to you, and how their absence might feel. 2. The fading echoes of connection, feeling forgotten. When the decision to move into a nursing home is made, there are often heartfelt promises. Visits will be regular, phone calls will be frequent, and you'll always be part of family gatherings. And in the beginning, these promises are often kept with loving intentions. But life, as we know, is a relentless way of moving forward. Children have their own families, their own careers, their own daily demands. Grandchildren grow up, get busy with school and friends, and the distance, both physical and emotional, can begin to feel vast. What starts as a genuine commitment can slowly, imperceptibly, fade into less frequent visits, shorter phone calls, and eventually, promises that turn into empty chairs at special occasions. The phone might sit silent for days, or even weeks. You might find yourself constantly looking towards the door, hoping to see a familiar face, only for disappointment to settle in. It's a profound loneliness that isn't just about being alone in a room, but about feeling out of sight, out of mind. I remember George, a quiet man who loved his family fiercely. He once told me, with a tremor in his voice, "I put the phone down, afraid to remind my son I was waiting." Can you imagine that heartache? The fear of being a burden, of being forgotten, so strong that it stops you from reaching out. It's a pain that cuts deep, a testament to how crucial those connections are to our emotional well-being. It's a vital question to consider. Are you truly prepared for the potential loneliness of being out of sight, out of mind? How will you cultivate and maintain those vital connections once you're in a new environment? 3. The unsettling silence of lost purpose. Throughout our lives, most of us are driven by a sense of purpose. Whether it's raising a family, excelling in a career, tending a garden, volunteering, or simply keeping a well-ordered home, these activities give our days structure and meaning. They provide a reason to get up in the morning, a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. When you move into a nursing home, many of these familiar purposes can disappear. There are no more chores to do around the house, no garden to tend, no community projects to lead. The staff handles the cleaning, the cooking, and much of the daily organization. While this might sound liberating initially, for many, it leads to an unexpected void. Days can stretch endlessly, filled with empty hours that once were brimming with activity and contribution. The feeling of being useless can creep in, a crushing weight on the spirit. I recall the story of George, a carpenter by trade, whose hands had shaped wood into beautiful creations for decades. In the nursing home, his hands lay idle. He had no projects, no tools, no need to build. He would sit, day after day, his gaze distant, and once I heard him whisper, almost to himself, "I have nothing to build anymore." That sentiment is heartbreaking because it speaks to the core of what makes us human, the need to create, to contribute, to feel relevant. If your identity has been tied to your work, your hobbies, or your responsibilities, the absence of these can leave a profound emptiness. So, ask yourself, what truly gives your life meaning? Will that meaning survive this transition? Or will you need to find new ways to cultivate it? It's a proactive step to consider how you'll continue to nurture your sense of purpose in a new setting. 4. The unforeseen speed of declining health. One of the primary reasons for moving into a nursing home is to receive help, assistance with daily tasks, medication management, and medical supervision. And indeed, this help is readily available. However, an unexpected consequence for some, more rapid decline in physical health than they might have anticipated. When everything is done for you, when you no longer need to exert yourself for everyday activities, your body can lose its strength surprisingly quickly. Walking to the kitchen for a glass of water, getting up from a chair, or reaching for an item on a shelf. These small, routine movements are what keep our muscles active and our bodies mobile. But in an environment where assistance is always at hand, these opportunities for natural exercise diminish. A wheelchair, meant to help with mobility, can become a crutch that leads to further muscle weakening. What might have been a minor weakness can quickly escalate into a significant limitation. I think of Alice, a spry woman who prided herself on her daily walks around her neighborhood. After a fall, she moved into a nursing home for rehabilitation, expecting to regain her strength and return home. But the constant availability of assistance, while kind, meant she simply didn't have to push herself. She described feeling like she aged 10 years in months, primarily due to her increasing reliance on the wheelchair. Her muscles atrophied, and her ability to walk independently diminished significantly. It's a poignant lesson about the double-edged sword of constant help. It leads to a challenging but crucial question. When everything is done for you, will you find the inner resolve and the opportunities to fight, to stay strong, and maintain your 5. The uncomfortable truth of lost privacy and dignity. Privacy is a fundamental human need, a sanctuary for our thoughts, our personal space, and our most intimate moments. Throughout our lives, we cultivate our own private domains, our homes, our rooms, our personal routines. Moving into a nursing home often means a drastic reduction in this privacy. Shared rooms are common, meaning your personal space is no longer solely your own. Strangers, care staff, enter your room frequently, often unannounced, for various reasons, from medication delivery to personal care. Your schedule becomes public, your personal habits observed. The autonomy you once had over your body and your daily routines can feel diminished. There's a subtle but pervasive shift where you might be treated less like a unique individual with a rich history and more like a patient or a resident. This can manifest in seemingly small ways, being spoken to in a condescending tone, having personal preferences overlooked, or being subjected to rigid routines that don't consider your individual needs or desires. One gentleman, a retired professor, expressed his heartbreak when he said, "I was spoken to like a patient, not a person." His dignity, his intellectual life, his rich experiences all seemed to be overlooked in the focus on his physical needs. This infantilization, whether intentional or not, can be deeply wounding. The routine of care, while necessary, can sometimes feel intrusive, especially when it involves intimate personal hygiene. So it's essential to consider, are you truly ready to trade a significant degree of your privacy for the perceived safety and convenience offered by a nursing home environment? What aspects of your personal dignity are non-negotiable for you? 6. The unexpected chains of temporary becoming permanent. Often, the decision to move into a nursing home is viewed as a temporary measure. Perhaps it's for rehabilitation after an illness, or for a short period of respite while family makes other arrangements. The unspoken assumption is that when circumstances improve or plans solidify, one can simply reverse the decision and return to their former life. However, the reality can be starkly different. Once you've moved, your home might be sold to cover the costs of care, or simply because maintaining it becomes impractical. Your possessions might be distributed, your familiar surroundings gone. Physically, as we discussed, your strength might decline faster than expected, making the idea of independent living seem increasingly daunting. Financially, the costs of nursing home care are substantial, often consuming savings and making a return to a more independent living situation economically challenging, if not impossible. The phrase temporary can quickly become a bitter irony, as the path back to independence can be far more arduous than anticipated. One woman, bless her heart, tearfully confided, "I thought I could reverse my decision. I was wrong." The hope of returning home faded with each passing month, replaced by the crushing realization that she was there to stay. The options you thought you had can vanish, and the temporary situation becomes a permanent reality, not always by conscious choice, but by the relentless accumulation of circumstances. This brings us to perhaps the most profound question of all. Is this truly necessary? Or is it simply the easiest path for others, for your family, or for caregivers, without fully exploring all your own long-term desires and options? This isn't about placing blame, but about a deep, honest self-reflection on agency and choice. These are not easy truths to hear, and certainly not easy to live. My intention today isn't to create fear, but to foster awareness. It's about empowering you, or your loved ones, to have the most informed, honest conversations possible before making such a profound life change. Every individual's journey is unique, and for some, a nursing home is precisely the right answer, offering peace of mind and essential care. But for others, understanding these potential regrets can lead to exploring alternative options, to finding ways to maintain independence and dignity for as long as possible in a setting that truly nourishes the spirit. Life is a precious gift, and so is our ability to make choices about how we live it. Take these reflections to heart. Discuss them openly with those you trust, and above all, listen to that quiet, wise voice within yourself. We're so glad you joined us today. If something touched your heart or sparked a new idea, share it in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you. Your words mean a lot to us and help keep this channel growing. If this video is helpful for you, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't hesitate to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to spending time with you again in the next video.